Hello everyone and welcome to our diet and nutrition class. Today we are going to be discussing the nutrients. Below is a quote I want you to consider. It says, "A healthy outside starts from the inside first." What do you think that means? If you said you are what you eat, or the foods you consume is going to show up later on the outside. Therefore, if you're eating healthy or consuming healthy foods, then you are going to be in perfect health later. Health begins with knowledge. Therefore, you need to know about each nutrient, the type of foods they're found in, and the various functions for each of these nutrients. And that is what we are going to be discussing today. Also, be careful not to consume one or two nutrients in excess and be lacking or having insufficient of other nutrients. Therefore, you need to eat a wide cross-section of foods in order to ensure that you have all the nutrients. On the screen, we have two delicious looking food items. Can you guess which nutrient is present in both of these food items? If you guessed proteins, then you are correct. Can you think of other food items that would contain protein? If you said poultry, which includes your chicken and turkey, milk, eggs, cheese, also plant proteins such as nuts, peas, and beans, then you are correct. These are food sources of protein. Now let's move on to the functions of protein. Protein is the only nutrient that contains amino acids, and these amino acids are needed for growth, especially in young children, and they also build and repair your body cells and organs. Therefore, you cannot rely on any other nutrient to perform this function. Therefore, you need to eat protein foods in order for your body to repair the cells and organs. Let's move on to our next nutrient. Can you guess from the images which nutrient is present in these food items? If you said carbohydrates, then you're correct. Carbohydrates are divided in two groups: sugars and starches. You have simple carbohydrates, which are your sugars, and complex carbohydrates, which are your starches. Your starches would include your bread, your pasta, your cereal, your rice, potatoes, and your sugars would include, of course, anything that is sweet. So that's going to be your honey, cakes, cookies, jams, and jelly, and other food items. The main source of energy carbohydrates provide for the body. And each gram of carbohydrate you eat, it yields 4 calories. Say for instance, if you eat a gram or say a slice of bread, then it is going to produce 4 calories. Let's move on to our next nutrient. As you can clearly see from our food sources, Our next nutrient is going to be fats. And fats are divided in two groups. You have saturated fat. It's called saturated because it's saturated with hydrogen, which is one of our atoms that goes into the making of fat. And they're usually from animals. And we have unsaturated fat, which is going to be from plants. Unsaturated fats are missing one or more atoms of hydrogen. Therefore, with this information, we would get saturated fat from butter, which butter is made from milk. Milk comes from animals. And we have lard, which is pig fat. So that's going to be saturated fat. We have unsaturated fats, which are usually oils, and they come from plants. So therefore we have our peanut oil, olive oil, canola oil, soybean oil, and all the other oils that we get from our plant. We also have shortening, which is from the Crisco company, and margarine, and these are hydrogenated oils. And what that means is that oils are used to make a solid fat by the process of hydrogenation, where hydrogen is pumped into the oils in order to make it solid. Fats are concentrated sources of energy. Therefore, we are going to need them in moderate amounts or small amounts, as small as possible, because 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 calories. That is all over twice as much as the calories that is produced from a gram of carbohydrate or protein. So let's move on to our next nutrient. From these lovely vegetables and fruits, can you guess which is our next nutrient? If you said vitamins, then again, you are correct. Vitamins are named according to the alphabet. So we have vitamins A, B complex, because there are several B vitamins, vitamin C, D, E, and K. Now, each vitamin performs a separate role in our bodies. Therefore, we need to eat a wide cross-section of different vegetables and fruits to ensure that we are going to get all the vitamins that we require. Vitamins also work along with other nutrients so that your body can get the full benefit from all the nutrients. For example, your B vitamins work with carbohydrates in order to release the energy that carbohydrates are going to provide. Vitamin A is good for your vision. Therefore, you need to eat vitamin A rich foods, and you can tell that by the red or orange color of your food. For instance, carrots, cantaloupes, papaya, tomatoes, strawberries, red peppers are some of the foods that are rich in vitamin A, and you can tell based on their color. Vitamin D works along with calcium in order to build strong bones and teeth. And when we come to do minerals next, we will discuss that as well. So in order for us to maintain good health, we should eat as many fruits and vegetables as we can, and we can never have enough of these foods, and they are usually low in calories. So it's okay to stock up or eat a lot of these foods. Let's move on to minerals. Our next nutrient is minerals. Even though minerals are needed in small quantities, they are very important for good health. We have calcium, which is necessary for strong bones and teeth, especially in young children. Therefore, we need to get calcium-rich foods, which are found in dairy products such as your milk, your yogurt, cheese, and so forth. Another mineral that we need is iron, and iron is necessary for the formation of red blood cells, and your red blood cells carry oxygen throughout your body. Therefore, it is a very important mineral. Iron foods are dark green leafy vegetables such as your kale, broccoli, spinach, collard greens, and other dark green leafy vegetables. You also find iron in your cocoa bean that's used to make chocolate, or cocoa for hot beverage. Another mineral that's necessary for your thyroid glands, that's iodine, and we find that in salt and seafoods. We also have potassium, which work in conjunction with other nutrients as well, and we find potassium in our banana. So that is for some of the minerals that we need, and in order to have all these minerals in our diet, we have to eat the foods that we find these minerals in. We are now going to discuss our final nutrient, which is water. Oftentimes, people don't consider water to be a nutrient, but because it is vital for survival, we consider it as important as the food that we eat. We can survive without food for some period of time, approximately a month, but water, we can survive past a week or a little over a week without water. So that is how essential water is to the body. The body needs water for various needs. First, it aids digestion. That is, the foods we eat starts digesting in our mouth. The food mixes with saliva as it is broken down so that enzymes can act on them, and then later they are absorbed in the body, and we get the benefit of the nutrients that we discussed earlier in the lesson. Our next function of water is to lubricate our joints. That is to provide the grease so that our joints can move with much more ease. Also, our body cells contains a high percentage of water. You need water also for blood circulation, or nutrients and oxygens are circulated in the blood throughout various parts of the body. We also need water to regulate our body temperature. If our body gets too heated, we need water, which the body provides naturally through sweating, in order to help cool the body down. Also, water is necessary for excretion, that is, getting rid of toxins from the body, and we can also use water to lubricate our eyes, keep them clean, and for producing mucus when we need them, and other body functions. So those are the 6 nutrients that our body needs to be healthy, and we need to eat a variety of foods in order to ensure that we get all those nutrients, and we should eat them in proportion, not too excessive in certain nutrients, so that our bodies can remain healthy. That is it for now, and we will discuss more on balanced diet in our next lesson. Bye-bye.